What's going on, guys? Anybody else have any questions here?
Dr. Price, I am going to be taking step 2. I actually pushed back my exam a few weeks and I'll be taking COMLEX pretty soon here.
Okay.
But I have plateaued to about a low pass score on NBMEs, which is not great, which is why I'm pushing it back to the end of August. And I'm hoping to go into internal medicine. And my goal, I really did want to take step 2, and my goal was to score in 250s or high 240s. So I was just wondering if you had any suggestions on how to study moving forward the next 4 weeks. And I'm about halfway done with UWorld, not seeing a progress, even though my UWorld averages have increased, and I have about 3 more NBMEs remaining.
Okay. How are you scoring on UWorld right now?
I would say high 60s.
Okay, so you're 50% through which pass of UWorld?
During third year, I had finished all of UWorld, but when Dedicated started, I reset it. So this will be my second pass, half done.
Okay. And how many are you doing per day?
My goal is 100, but in order to get a good review in, I usually do about 80.
So let's think about this timeline wise here. You have 28 days till your exam. We're going to be cutting it close here. Because if you have about 2,000 questions left in 28 days, that means that even if you're doing 80 every day, you're barely going to finish with time. What progress have you made on the secret archives? Have you been through them yet?
I have not been through all of them. No.
I wouldn't even do another block of questions until you get through it. I mean, you can boost your score easily 10% from where you're at just with the secret archives, and you can go through that in a few days. So I would
Okay.
certainly do that before you even start going through questions, because then your remaining questions, you're going to be able to move through much quicker.
Okay.
That's the whole goal with the secret archives, is it's supposed to help you compress the time that you're doing your questions and studying by a ton, because you've already seen a lot of the heavy hitting concepts. So you're
Right.
not just kind of guessing when you're going through questions and then have to learn everything from square one.
Mhm.
So I would start here.
All right.
This realistically, so if you go to the dedicated tab here, you can basically break it down into a couple days of like max effort if you put it on double speed. So for example, go through all the internal medicine stuff in one day. That's going to take you about 3.5 hours at double speed.
Mm-hmm.
Go the surgery and EM stuff. That's going to take you 2.5 hours on double speed. I mean, you could even get through pretty much all these concepts for surgery and for IM in one day if you really wanted to. It's obviously going to be a big push and a hard hitting day, but I mean, you could basically revamp your entire knowledge base in the next 5 days.
Okay.
So I wouldn't do any more world until completed with secret archives. And then moving forward, you're going to have to move it up from 80 questions a day, realistically. How many CMS forms have you done?
I have taken all of CMS forms throughout third year to
Okay.
prepare for shelf exams, but I was wanting to do the internal medicine ones again.
Okay. I think that's a wise decision. Obviously, internal medicine is the heaviest hitting section on your boards. If you could, I'd rather you redo all of them, but obviously we don't have time for all of that right now. So in terms of order of operations, number 1, secret archives. Number 2, you absolutely need to account for time to finish all 3 NBMEs. Which ones do you have left right now?
I have 9, which I was told not to take because the information is outdated. I don't know if you've heard anything about that. Then I have 12, 13, and 14.
There's like literally maybe 2 questions on NBME 9 that's outdated. It's still worth doing if you haven't hit enough reps to get where you're going. If you're scared of that one and don't want to take it, obviously, then don't do something that's going to psychologically throw you off. But NBMEs 12 through 14 are all really solid. 12 is a really hard one curve-wise, but the questions are still fine. So you need to account for time to finish all 3 of those. And if you are 4 weeks out, I would say don't take any of these until, let's do some math here. Let's say take your next one in 10 days from now.
Okay.
So take next NBME 10 days from now. And so what you need to accomplish before then is complete Secret Archives. And I want you to try to get through about 750 more UWorld questions. So it's going to be a push to get through all that, but I think if you do those two things, that you'll see a substantial difference on your next NBME. And that's even with considering the curve of NBME 12 is one of the harder ones.
Okay.
So that's what I would do. And then obviously by then we'll have our next live session scheduled. I just haven't got my schedule for August yet to put the dates up, but you can just hop on and let me know how you're doing at that point, and we can make adjustments as we need to.
All right. Do you think there's hope to get to the 240, 250 range?
I mean, 100%. I've had people go up 30, 40, 50 points in the last month. So
Nice.
all
Okay.
about what you do with it.
And then for free 120 for step 2, when do you recommend taking that? Is it a few days before the exam? And do you recommend 75% to be safe, or?
Usually 3 to 5 days before the exam. And depending on what score you want to get, I would aim for high 70s for you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Absolutely. Good to see you on here, by the way.
All right. So I'm actually taking step on Friday. So I'm pretty much at the end of my prep time.
Yeah, man.
Thinking about like going into 4th year, and just wondering if you have any suggestions for, like, do I continue studying in any way during my IM/AI, for example? What are your thoughts on step 3? How do things work going forward?
So really the biggest thing in your 4th year, especially with your AIs, is preparing for the AI itself, because that's what you want to do essentially moving forward, right? So every single patient, I try and treat it as almost like a mental gateway to the next 100 times I'm going to see that pathology. So for example, I'll just like talk about it in terms of vascular, because it's what I see every day. So it's like, okay, I've seen somebody with a acute limb ischemia. How is that going to differentiate from the next time I see somebody with acute limb ischemia? Like, what were the things that made the differentiation in the mental algorithm of, okay, this person goes to the OR, whereas this person gets heparin? Like those types of things. And so take the pathologies that you see for this month, your AI, and basically try and start building up based off of the knowledge that you've already got, obviously, which you've been studying hard. So you're going to have a good knowledge base, but try and see how that you can get even more granular with that during your AI. So that way that you're not just going through the motions and being like, oh man, this is somebody with diabetes, we just got to do X, Y, Z. It's like, no, what has this person tried? What would be best based upon their comorbidities? You know what I mean? Like try and like really get down to the actual science of it. So in a nutshell, yes, you're always going to be studying, but should you keep studying for step 3? That's up to you. So some students like to take it before residency just to get it knocked out, or at least like the first month of residency. That way that they can have their program pay for it and just be done with it. And then some people don't take it for the first couple of years, but everybody's residency is different. Just some people have to finish it by the end of their PGY 1 year as just a hard and fast rule of their residency, and other residencies say before you graduate. So I don't know what your exact rule will be or your exact circumstance, but to be honest, especially for a specialty like IM, which is so heavily based on what you're going to see on step 2 and step 3, obviously, because it's the largest section. I mean, you might as well just study and knock it out and just be prepared for step 3 so you can just get it done and over with, honestly, because it's just one less thing that you have to deal with during residency when your entire life is like focused around the hospital. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm doing an IM first, but I'm actually applying PM&R, so I'll do that second.
Perfect.
But just for clarity. But that all makes sense.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
So I will say just a few cliff notes of what we just said. You always continue to study, lifelong pursuit of knowledge, worth knocking out. Step 3, ASAP. Some programs will pay for it for you if you take it as a PGY 1. Every program has different rules on when you must take step 3 by. Either by end of PGY 1 year or before graduation, etc. Cool. Any questions on that, man?
No, that'll make sense. I'm actually going to hop off to get some sleep before step 2, but good luck with your recovery and everything. Thanks.
I appreciate that, man. Dude, keep us posted on how step 2 goes. What's up, guys? Anything I can do for you?
I have one quick question. I was wondering, for the how would you be able to differentiate like what is it like lean? I think it's like lean and then Six Sigma, I think, or the six lean from quality improvement.
What about it?
I don't know how would you differentiate between, hold on, let me pull up what I was confused on. Give me 1 second, sorry. How would you differentiate between Six Sigma and then I think it was and then lean?
What is the second thing that you're saying? Sorry.
I think it's like lean for quality. I think I had a question on quality improvement. It was like trying, like it was asking different definitions, but I can try to find the question.
Yeah, see if you can find it real quick.
Sorry.
You're good, man.
A lean process. Sorry, that's what I was talking about. Like,
Can you share the question?
yeah, let me find the question. Never mind. I can't find what I'm looking for.
You can just send it to me if you find it. You don't have to worry about it right
Okay.
now.
But I do have another question.
Yeah.
For how would you approach a question when it's talking about like position impairment? Like, what would the first or like second step be? Like, if you're like a versus like you're a medical student versus like it's your colleague that comes in like who has been drinking,
Are you talking about like in real life what I would do or like for the boards?
like for the boards. Sorry,
Okay.
because I had a friend who had a few questions about that when he mentioned like that topic came up on his boards.
Or like a co-student, you're saying?
Yeah, like a co-student was mentioning like that topic was frequent on his board exams.
Sorry, I just want to clarify. You're asking about if you have to report a co-student who's drunk or an attending.
Oh no, he was just saying like that topic on his exam that he took of you had like a colleague coming in who
Gotcha.
was he was just he was just trying to explain it to me, but I was just kind of confused on how you approach like an ethical question about that.
Gotcha. Hold on, let me find it in the ethics guide here. Because I actually wrote up a section on that. I had a nice little write up on it. I find it. There's your Six Sigma. I don't know what the other one is that you're talking about. Lean process. I don't know why I can't find it here. I don't know why I can't find that. I thought for sure it was in this ethics guide. But basically, trying to think of the best way to do this because these ones are usually pretty tricky.
Yeah, that's what he was telling me. He said he had like four and they were tricky.
Obviously there's usually one dumb answer for these where it's like just let the attending make sure he doesn't make any bad decisions or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's usually just some trash that you know is not the right answer. Trying to remember, and it's not an ethics committee answer, so you can always cross that one off for this as well. I'm pretty sure that the question that I got on that one time, there's an answer that was like go to the chair of the division. It was like go to the supervisor of whoever it is, and it happened to be like the chair of the division, for example. And that was what they're looking for. And it was to keep you out from a confrontation because they don't want you to interact directly with the attending because then it's like, well, if they are aggressive or drunk or anything like that, then it can obviously come back and retaliate against you. So usually those are like your three trash answers. The one is like just let them be. Two is ethics committee. Three is directly confront them. Usually those three are incorrect answers. And then so it leaves you with going to the supervisor of the attending. And I think that there is one other scenario where it was actually more tricky than that. Let me see if I can find it while we're thinking about it. Trying to find the old question. There's a question on one of the NBMEs that was about this. And one of the answer choices was it was like allow them to see their next patient and see how they did, and that one was the wrong answer, obviously. You'll have to let me know if you come across any questions like that so we can work through it.
Okay, we'll do.
In the meantime, I'll see if I can't find where I covered that in the ethics guide. I thought for sure it was on there.
Another quick question while you're looking that up. How would you approach like another ethical question about like if a patient would like to, you have an Instagram that's professional and private, and a patient wants to follow you, would you let them follow you or would you say no, or would you let them like follow your professional account?
I'm fine with the professional account. I try to keep all stuff with patients completely separate from personal, though. I think that's pretty much any time that I've interacted with that in terms of like through the hospital and stuff, that's always what they recommend. Because we always have to do those like stupid ethical modules and stuff every year. I wouldn't let a patient follow a personal account though, definitely not. But I will say that there is a question that's like, can a patient invite you to a personal event in their own life? Like whether it's a wedding or whether it's a ceremony or something like that? And the answer is yes, they can invite you to it. It's just up to you whether or not you want to go. And that was actually the correct answer, is you can use your discretion, but you still can't attend the event.
Okay.
And it was for a patient's wedding. It was like a patient you've taken care of for like 10 years. And obviously it's not a psych patient, because anytime that it's a psych patient, it's a little bit different story. But you can still go to major life events for patients.